All right, so our spotlight album this week comes from Falling in Reverse.
Boo.
It is Popular Monster.
Boo.
This was released on August 16th. Lots of lineup changes since the last album came out 8 years ago. Ronnie Radke is, of course, still on lead vocals. Christian Thompson returns on guitar, but he's moved to rhythm guitar.
You suck.
With Max.
Got demoted. How the fuck you get demoted in metal? Yeah.
I don't
Next,
know.
he's on the guitar.
Tyler Burgess is on bass, and Luke Holland is on drums on most of the songs.
Quick disclaimer, I did not fucking listen to this shit, so I don't have a solid review.
Bobby's not reviewing it, it's just me and Jason.
I will talk shit, though.
I know Jason loved every minute of it. Most of this album has come out over the last several years. Only 4 of the 11 tracks are truly new, with a runtime of almost 38 minutes. Opens with Prequel, which is one of the new tracks, and it is the 8th to get a music video. 8th music video on this album. I'm assuming they're just going to go ahead and do all 11 as music videos.
Why not?
If you haven't checked out the music videos, I would recommend looking at them. Even if you're not a fan of the band, they're very cinematic. They would rival a lot of movies that you would see. But this is an epic 4-minute intro that kind of sets the stage thematically for the lyrically introspective album that follows. Feels like a movie trailer score. It's an absolutely massive feel to it. Pretty cool opener.
Lyrically introspective.
Listen to the lyrics.
Shit you
throughout the
just said
album.
was polysyllabic as fuck, and you nailed it.
Not
God damn.
not how I would probably describe it, but
What
That's
would you
dog shit.
describe it
That's
as? Will we
terrible.
get into that?
we'll get into
Terrible core.
it. Prequel. I do think it's a cool way to kind of ease into the album, but overall it just sounds like a throwaway NF song.
Oh, okay.
That sounds horrible.
Popular Monster follows. This is the title track that was originally released in 2019 and is the most streamed track in the band's discography. Lyrically, the song deals with inner demons destroying you and the back and forth battle of wanting to just feel okay. The music reflects this battle with calm yet aggressive verses that build into the big catchy chorus. It continues to build into one of my favorite breakdowns, which is an explosive juggernaut of double bass and emotion that produces an intense bit every single time I see it live. I fucking love it. This is a great title track.
Real quick, I think song number 2 is a title track. If the first one's kind of an intro thing, okay spot for a title track. You know what I'm saying?
It's good placement for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Again, this is like a blend of NF and Tom McDonald on the rappy parts.
Worse.
Are you
but
saying that because they're all white?
No, I actually in prepping for this, I played a few NF and Tom McDonald tracks to make sure I wasn't off base, and I was 100% accurate. Like his flow is so similar, especially to NF.
So
He has
you
NF's
found yourself
flow.
to be 100%. That means you hurt yourself patting yourself on the back.
He has NF's flow with Tom McDonald's stupid lyrics.
Take that.
Now, objectively,
Oh, here we go.
his chorus is very well written, like very well written.
it is.
And the breakdown is great. And I would say that we could thank Mr. Cody Quistad for that.
Who's Cody with?
If you don't know who Cody is, he is the lead guitarist, primary songwriter, and clean vocalist for Wage War.
Mm-hmm. And Ronnie actually put out a video recently thanking Cody, as well as everybody else who's helped write the album and help him out throughout the way with this. Doesn't take all the credit, contrary to what a lot of people think. The next track is All My Life, which features Jelly Roll. And they take a hard left turn here. When this first came out, my initial reaction was, what the fuck is even going on here? After a few listens and watching the music video, I think this song's a very big troll. And it also is just Ronnie showing off how many styles he can make hit songs out of on one album. Forget this is a Falling Reverse song and just kind of listen to it. It's like your typical fun, radio-friendly summer sing-along, ding-dong type song. And this shit grew on me. My kids love this track, so I'm not really going to hate on it. Not everything needs to be so serious. And if you listen to the previous albums, there's always like a goofy, fun track on there. So it fits the theme.
So serious? I mean, it's a smart move. You get those Jelly Roll fans in there that probably have no idea who the fuck Ronnie Radke is. You know what I'm saying?
Jelly Roll is featuring on a lot of
Fucking Trailer
major
Park
artists
Meatloaf.
right now.
I've seen
It's
Jelly-
crazy.
Fucking guy.
Trailer Park Meatloaf. Oh, man, that's sticking. That's sticking. Anytime we talk about him on the show from now on.
Oh, Trailer Park Meatloaf. Yeah.
So this is one of the worst songs that I've ever heard in any genre, period. I would say that it sounds like Smash Mouth have gone country, but I would not want to insult Smash Mouth like that.
It is. Come on now, it is in that lane though. It's like if this came out in like 1999, you probably would have like had fun listening to it.
I doubt it. Also, since we're judging this as a full album, this is terrible placement. Like, you want to talk about a momentum killer? Like, you have like an intro that leads right into that first track,
which is a pretty intense track.
And then you bring this shit out on the third track? Like, talk about a momentum killer, dude. That's terrible. And then the transition from this song to the next one doesn't work at all. Like, there is no transition.
All right, hold on before we get to the next one. And speaking on this bad placement.
This is bad placement for the song.
And it also goes in with we were talking about how you release all these fucking singles and shit before the album comes out. How do you fucking put your album together now that all these songs have been, I mean, do you put the way they were chronologically, the singles released? That's what I'm saying.
I feel like this is more of a compilation album than any kind of concept.
What we're going to see is that you don't, like, you can't,
that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you know? You understand what I'm saying? Like, when you make an album, you kind of like, you know, this song should go after that one. That has a cool feel to it. If you just kicked out all the fucking singles, everybody fucking already knows. They might be skipping right to the ones you want to hear, like
the new stuff and whatnot.
It changes the whole fucking perspective of making an album. So there's that.
It's an interesting approach, which I'll talk more about in a little bit about how they released this album. They followed up with Ronald, which features Tech Nine and Alex Terrible. And as Jason mentioned, it does not flow at all from All My Life. This track goes hard from the opening note, and that last track is quickly forgotten as we get dropped into explosive madness immediately. The double bass rolls are like a silverback gorilla running on you, pounding its chest.
I like that.
I mean, I've mentioned that with songs before, but it really hits home here, and I absolutely love it.
Gorillas running? You mentioned that before?
Silverback gorillas, yeah.
I don't remember that line.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, man.
That's a hell of a description.
Like, that's just what it reminds me of. The transition into Tech Nine's verse is pretty seamless, and they somehow come out of that with even more intensity, and there's an epic slide into Ronnie and Alex Terrible going back and forth with some super low gutturals. This track dropped days before we went to Rockville this year, and I texted all you guys saying that these three are all going to be here, and there's a possibility that we're going to see this, and they did, and I got to see it, so there's always going to be kind of an extra hype and excitement over this track to me. I love Ronald. I think it's one of these standout tracks on the album.
It is one of the songs I've actually heard. Don't like it. But I think this was the attempt to like show he's got some clout in the heaviness realm. But it's fucking super. The dude's fucking brilliant as far as marketing. You got fucking Alex Terrible. Those guys are on the up and coming, man.
And Jelly Roll.
And well, on this particular song, we already did
just on the album.
Alex, you know, he's bringing in that fucking fan base and stuff, and then he's avid on the fucking social medias, you know, fighting bears and shit. And he seems like a fucking genuinely cool dude. And then if he's on this track with fucking Ronnie, you might, you know, give him a little more respect.
Man's feeding tigers with his mouth now too.
And then also Tech Nine, who I don't know if he's got any like hits or whatever, but that dude's fucking known underground. He's got the underground clout. You bring him in instead of getting some ding dong white boy rap guy. You get a fucking legitimate dude who's, you know, got some fucking clout. And it was really cool what you said. You saw them. That's probably a once in a lifetime fucking thing.
I think they did it one other time after that.
I mean, they were doing that tour.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe 20 years from now when they try to make it happen. But that's a fucking cool thing to get those three different people that are going to be on different fucking trajectories to make that happen. So that was pretty cool there. I just think this was a smart move as a fucking, you know, business side making this song. But this brings up what I asked this question a while back, and I was like, who's the new Marilyn Manson? Like, who's the new shock rocker? It's fucking Ronnie Radke. I mean, back in the day, like, hold on, listen, like back in the day, you had fucking Alice Cooper, and then like Kiss or whatever, and maybe in the 80s was like Ozzy, you know, biting heads off of bats.
And you're saying this is the best we can do now?
That's I'm not saying
you got to think about
Marilyn Manson, but Marilyn Manson, like the music was not like great or provocative or even lyrically or nothing. It's what he did outside, what he did visually,
it's polarizing.
His fucking social, the shit he said. That's what Ronnie Radke's. It's hard to be like a shock rocker visually now. Everybody's got fucking weird hair and tattoos and fucking like whatever. I mean, you got 27,000 genders and shit. Like, how is it shocking imagery is wise? Ronnie Radke, I mean, he's kind of goofy looking with his blacked out head. But the fucking, how he is on the social, the shit he says, what he's doing, he's the new provocative fucking shock rocker. Why the fuck do I know who he is? Because of this shit. He's the new Marilyn Manson.
He's a rock star type of frontman that you don't see a lot anymore. Whether you like him or hate him, he's that
No, there's plenty of
polarizing,
fucking
like,
dudes out there fronting bands and being
fronting
gnarly and
bands,
stuff.
but
But
not
he's
being that,
constantly fucking poking people in the eye. Like, yeah, he's fucking provocative, bro. He's the new guy.
What'd you think of Ronald?
Ronald's my favorite track on this album.
I figured.
It's probably, yeah.
It is 90% because of Tech Nine
Tech's verse is great.
and 10% because of Alex Terrible.
There you go, right?
But if I'm being honest, this song really doesn't flow as well as some of the other songs that he's put out. This one to me is a little bit choppy, like the transitions aren't as smooth. It just doesn't flow like when you look at a song like we're going to talk about in a bit, like Watch the World Burn, this one doesn't flow the same way.
Mm-hmm.
But Tech Nine's verse is so strong that there's no way that this wouldn't be my favorite track on the album.
All right, well, going with the flow, this song, how many songs does he have where he has multiple guest stars on it? The song might have been designed, set up to have.
Yeah, it was more
You know
of
what I'm
the, but he does a lot of the rap stuff himself too. And
but he's the one, what I'm saying, you
tends
kind of
to
got to make a
flow-
part for the guy that fits.
But he tends to like,
I don't know, I
his
don't listen to
parts
this shit.
tend to flow like together much better than they do on this one. This is, I mean, like I said, it's my favorite track on the album. I'm just nitpicking because it's.
Oh, no, I'm just saying.
If we're really going to nitpick this song, go back to 2013, listen to the album Fashionably Late, listen to
don't
the
do that.
opening track, Champion,
Don't do that.
and
Yeah,
you
I'm
will
definitely
see.
not doing
Or just
that.
take your word.
You
for
already
it.
made me do
Just-
it once.
I
Just
did,
tell us
but,
and we don't have
for
to
the
fucking-
listeners, go back and listen to Champion.
Just listen
It
to what
Oh
he
was
shit,
says.
listeners! Yeah, I thought we were just talking.
It was the groundwork for Ronald. It's basically the same format of song. You just did it a lot better with Ronald. So it's like he had the idea a long time ago. He came back, did it again, even better. I liked Ronald. It's a
Hey,
great
but
track.
legit question though, like how often does he have guests vocals on his stuff?
Not a lot.
It's
I
kind
think
of-
there's
this
there's
album-
3 tracks on this
On
album.
this,
right?
there's
it's like a new thing on this one?
there's the Jelly Roll one, there's this one, and
Trailer
then
Park Meatloaf.
his wife Soraya's later on, but she's only got like a line in that song. It's very short.
All right.
So,
Just wondering.
and I don't know if he does on any other album. Features are not, or they weren't common
Well,
previously.
because like you
so,
said, he kind of does the rapping himself. Like he,
yeah.
Yeah, he's.
He's,
And he always
seems like an
has.
egotistical guy.
Yeah,
like I'll
he
just
doesn't
do all
want
of it.
anybody to come on his
Yeah,
album that's
right.
gonna like show him up. So
Speaking of
I
rapping,
don't think Jelly Roll's shown anybody.
rapping in bars. Did you catch the "Escape the Fate" line in the
I
prequel
did,
dress?
I did.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
it made me chuckle a little
Yeah.
bit.
Next track is "Voices in My Head." Next track is "Voices in My Head." This is another huge track built by relatable lyrics similar to Popular Monster, with themes of inner voices tearing you apart, calm verses that flow into a chanty chorus, leading to another monster breakdown. Another track that I like, man. This is an early one that came out. I think this was the 3rd single on the album after Zombified, if I remember right. Or I might have those backwards because it's been a while.
Get your
but-
fucking facts straight. What'd you do, man? You reviewed an album, you ain't got you.
Dude, there's 7 singles.
That's Linkin Park style, bro.
There's a lot.
Right.
Well, there's 8 singles now, but there's 7 before.
Mhm.
Anyways, Voices in My Head. Another great track in my opinion.
Yeah, objectively, this is written very well, which once again we can probably attribute that to Cody Quistad. You can hear the wage war stamp all over this, especially when it gets to the breakdown. That's just a fucking wage war breakdown. What I hate about this song and some of his others is that weird angsty teenage accent that he uses when he's singing on the verse. I hate it. I hate it. I don't feel like that's his natural singing voice. It's just very off-putting to me.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I
Like
like
trying to
it,
listen to some whiny ass teenager. I'm with you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They follow this up with Bad Guy, which is the song featuring Soraya, who's his wife, otherwise known as, or previously known as Paige from WWE wrestling.
That's his wife?
yeah.
The fucking English chick?
Yeah.
Fucking good job, Ronnie Radke. All right.
Do you remember when Disturbed did Bad Man and it was repetitive and sucked?
Yeah, it was pretty sad, man.
Yeah, this isn't quite that, but it has an infectious hook, and lyrically, it's a very passive-aggressive shot at all of the online Ronnie haters, which kind of include Jason over here. but-
I love that you just mentioned that particular song.
Yeah, this is, in my opinion, this is kind of like an Eminem "The Way I Am" attitude attitude, not the song. And Soraya part's pretty minimal, but she continues with the passive aggressiveness.
I never really even noticed her line,
dig
so I was wondering where she was at.
But you only listened to the album once, right?
I listened to the album once.
Yeah, exactly.
But I didn't skip anything. I suffered through the whole 37 plus minutes.
If you're not paying attention, you probably will miss her line. It's pretty short, but it's...
This is one of the worst songs on the album.
Oh, God.
Ronnie,
I dig it.
Ronnie is a very good singer, but
he is, you're right.
This is why I said it's funny that you mentioned the song that you did.
They toured with Disturbed.
He does the same thing that David Draymond does, where he way over enunciates words, and it's super annoying. And he's like, really on it in this song. Like,
do you catch in this song how tongue in cheek? He's trying to be annoying in this song. He's
succeeded
trolling people.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm not smart enough to pick up on this troll, but I'm not going to listen to it enough times to figure it out.
It was so sarcastic and just I dug it because I get the personality behind what's going on there, the tongue in cheek kind of nature of it. Watch the World Burn follows vocally. Honestly, this is one of the most impressive songs I've ever heard in my life.
What?
Listen, Ronnie opens with different styles of rap. He eventually falls into choppy aggressiveness, and that's
his reaction. I'm sorry.
Come on.
He killed me, man.
Come on.
I was holding it together, and then I looked at Bobby.
The rap goes into a choppy aggressiveness, and that's where they make this clean transition into the metal. They flip the vocal and the music as the guitars join and the drums get more intense. It's one of the smoothest transitions I've heard between the two styles, and it continues to build and build deeper into more demonic vocals. We go into almost a black metal vocal at one point. So he started out as like rap, and he speeds it up, and then he gets into this metal, and he keeps changing the metal vocal up. And if you hear it live, he sometimes rewinds this track and adds even more vocal styles, which include one that's like an evil opera sounding vocal. The track has a cinematic feel to it, and it's definitely a fuck you from Ronnie to anyone who questions what he can do vocally. Like you, Bobby.
Well, fuck you too, Ronnie Radke.
Look, you can hate the guy all you want, but like
I'm gonna.
His
actually, I kind of think he's fucking paid from
his fucking range.
You know what I mean? Goddamn.
His range it's pretty unmatched. I mean, like how many other people can do the amount of different vocals that this guy does? Truthfully,
I don't know if Chris Cornell ever rapped, but I'm sure he would probably been good at it. That's some range there, Chris Cornell.
You're talking about a goat though,
Mike Patton.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but how many are? It's very rare.
Two so far. He said how many? We both brought up.
That's
fucking
fair.
Fucking Ronnie.
We'll see.
Without even thinking about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Shit.
But for real, on this track, this is objectively the best song that the band has ever released. This is the one where I think you're right. Like the formula worked out perfectly. Everything fed into each other. It all blended perfectly. The transitions were smooth. He blended all of those styles. Whoever was responsible for assembling this track, I know Cody was part of this one too. It all worked. It was very cohesive. The transitions were smooth. It sounded like one song. It didn't sound like a bunch of songs pushed together.
Yeah.
I mean, objectively, it's a good song.
I mentioned the music videos earlier. This one's especially super cool.
I ain't gonna listen to it again, but it's a good song.
I've made you listen to it a few times now. Trigger warning follows. It's got arena rock vibes here. Big stompy, head bobbing, catchy track with a cool little piano solo that I liked.
More Tom McDonald McJr. here. I strongly dislike this song and its stupid anti-woke message. When is everybody going to realize that the fucking anti-woke mob and the woke mob are equally annoying? You all just need to shut the fuck up.
Oh, take that. It's funny you said you strongly dislike. You ever like weakly dislike something?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of passively dislike something sometimes.
No, I'm pretty much always strong.
Gray area. He gray area dislikes some stuff. Zombified. I think this was the second single. Chuggy back and forth swing for the most part, lyrically dealing with society being manipulated with social media and frustrations over the modern world. It's got another catchy chorus leading into kind of a neck snapping breakdown, I guess you'd call it. But to me, this is the weakest song on the album.
What?
This Zombified has never stood out to me. I don't dislike it, but this is one
you heard the one with Jelly Roll, right? With the fucking
Trailer Park Meatloaf.
I don't know that song. That song grew on me, and like I said, with my kids liking it so much, I just look at it different now.
Yeah, you can't like it. That's what you should fucking.
Dude
don't know.
looks like he ate some Trailer Park meatloaf.
You know what I
dude.
mean? Any kid like 8?
How you gonna talk about Jelly like that, man? That dude, that's a good dude there.
He seems like a
he
really
did-
good
he
dude,
did a-
man. He really does.
So just on the topic of Jelly Roll, he was playing a show here in was it Tampa or Orlando
Is
recently?
Tampa? Yeah.
Who's he opening for? Morgan Wallen? Something like that?
Yeah, I think it was more. Yeah, it was one of those.
And the
dipshits.
show got canceled last minute. Jelly Roll put on a free show for anybody that had a ticket.
I knew
you know,
know.
Oh, yeah,
It's a
Jelly
Dallas
Roll,
Bowl.
look,
That was fucking
Jelly Roll
Raider in
seems
hell.
cool as fuck, man.
yeah.
But he does look like he ate a bunch of meatloaf. I'm
He's
just
actually,
saying.
yeah.
You
But-
are what you eat.
You got any comments on Zombified, Jason?
Yeah, I think it's pretty decent. You know, despite the more anti-woke BS that's being run into the ground right now, like that's what everybody's using to be cool now. But you just became like as annoying as the people that you're making songs about. Just stop, man. Like talk about something original.
So
But
this-
you know,
so
Cyborg
I will say this though. This song came out
I'll be
probably
down with that.
this song, if you think about it, this song came out like 4 years ago. When
That's
people
probably
were,
true.
You know, when
yeah,
people were
and-
just starting to get on that whole.
Yeah, he was
so,
probably on the beginning of the
You know what I mean?
anti-woke train.
So,
yeah.
you gotta kind of look
When
at
it
it
was
that, like,
still a little bit edgy. Now it's just like everybody's doing it. Like,
fair enough.
Like we've run it into the ground. Like I, get
feel
it.
I feel like this was
Like,
in
look,
2020 or 2021 when
not
this
a-
I
came
don't
out.
think
so-
we're done with the woke and into it. We got a little
No,
bit to
because
go.
the world's just getting split in half.
But
so
I'm
the
not-
country is especially.
Look, man, and we don't talk about politics. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
I ain't down for the PC stuff either. Like, I'm not.
Were you like a PlayStation guy?
Stop getting manipulated. In other words, like
yeah, I'm
understand
just
what's
saying,
going on.
like,
you know what I mean?
like, just look at shit through your own goddamn eyes.
There's a middle ground. Hey, Bobby, fun fact: Soraya comes out to Zombified in AEW wrestling. That's her theme music. So
Is it? That's
All right.
pretty cool. I mean, that's a good way to support your husband.
Fucking A, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool
so-
as shit. I mean, I made a song and my hot wife walks out to it and
Yeah,
fucking kicks
so,
people's ass. Like, that's
pretty cool.
cool.
That is cool. Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't have an argument against that.
next track is No Fear. This is like a rap diss track,
Like
essentially.
the dumbass surf company?
Oh, dude, I forgot about No
yeah,
Fear. Yeah,
everybody
how
used
about
to
that?
wear them shirts when I was in
Yeah.
middle school.
I did too, actually. But anyways, I don't really care who this is directed towards. It also seems to tackle on the toxic nature of social media again. I like how they tease the metal drop, but only give
He
you
is the toxic nature of social media.
yes and no. I feel like he understands what people react to, and he uses it to promote the band.
Which is fucking toxic.
It's toxic.
It is, but I feel like a
It's-
lot of it's
if
just
you know
put on,
what's gonna
like,
fucking-
not put on, but it's
If you know kryptonite is going to kill Superman and you make a fucking kryptonite gun and you shoot him with it, then that's fucking dick move.
Yeah. But if your motive is to kill Superman, then you're right on point. And his motive is
On that
to,
point, fuck Superman. I don't like him. I would
he
totally
knows
shoot
his.
him.
Yeah, I mean the guy wears his underwear over his
I'm saying
fucking
it's-
tights. Like what the fuck is that? Only
It's
him
the
and Quail
boots
Man
that
do
get me.
that shit.
I mean, fucking,
But
I'm with you.
no, I mean the guy like you mentioned
He's
it
the
earlier.
new Marilyn Manson.
He's a marketing
He's
genius.
Josh
He is.
Rocker.
And
Marketing
I
genius
won't
for
take that
sure.
away from him. Like he knows, just like Marilyn Manson, like you said, he knows how to take controversy and turn it into something positive for himself.
He's got his finger on the
Controversy is
provocative button.
cash.
It's just that his particular
Controversy
controversy
is
that he
cash.
stirs up
You
is
would
really
figure I
dumb.
would be a gajillionaire.
We'll get you
Everybody
there, Bobby.
tapes my point of view.
So the
Yeah,
close.
the problem is right now you don't fit into
I'm not
anybody's
marketable.
narrative.
Yeah,
You're not too far
Trailer
on,
Park
on
Max
either
Cavalera.
side of the
No, the
argument.
problem is Jason edits out your super controversial comments.
Maybe not anymore. I mean, I
That
might
is
just leave it
true.
all in. Fuck it.
Man, I bet the listeners are like, "What haven't we heard
What did
him
he say?
It gets kind of fucked up
So-
sometimes.
They close the album with "Last Resort," the Papa Roach song reimagined. This is a completely stripped down version of Papa Roach's signature song, led
And it
by
still sucked.
Led-
Stripped it down and it's crap. Still.
it's led by a piano and an orchestra, and Ronnie
Plinky Plinks.
Ronnie puts all the emotion into what has
Emotion.
always been extremely heavy lyrics about suicide. It
Are
takes
there any light lyrics about suicide?
no, that's a good point. But
Go
the,
in, I'll kill
but, I mean,
myself.
the way
the
way-
party.
the way Papa Roach presented the song before
That's the
was
Jim Jones anthem.
Chills, yeah.
was more upbeat and metal.
Sorry.
I know you guys are
I'm
going on
leaving all
about Jim
this in.
Jones behind the scenes
I'm
here, you
leaving all
know.
this in.
But anyways,
Not trying to make light of suicide, you fucking cancelers.
Ronnie takes
God.
these lyrics, and puts all the emotion into them that honestly was never done with Papa Roach, and it takes a lot of balls to completely change a well-known song to this extent. It's the lyrics and not much more from the original. It's a wildly emotional and epic way to end the album. I like this cover a lot.
All right. So
And you don't like Papa Roach or Ronnie, so you probably hated this.
So
the song is like, don't kill yourself, right? Like, that would be bad.
Yeah,
So you listen to this entire fucking Falling in Reverse, and he ends it with like, hey, don't kill yourself after listening to this dog shit.
I guess that's a way to look at it, but
yeah, I mean,
it's not. But
That's how I'm looking at it. Ronnie.
I'm not a fan of Papa Roach.
No,
at
why
all.
would you be?
Nope.
I really just don't care about Papa Roach at all.
Good.
Like, I don't ever need to hear them. And Last Resort to me is one of the most annoying songs I've ever heard. But look, all respect, because I know that song means a lot to a lot of people. And if you're one of those people, I'm not trying to offend you. I just don't like that song by Papa Roach. But this is one of the best songs on this album,
there you
because
go.
I
See?
think that Ronnie took this song that I completely can't stand, and he made me look at it in a more serious light. I never said the dude couldn't sing. Like, this guy is got some incredible vocals on him, and
Mhm.
he really put a nice twist on this that just makes me look at it in a more serious light, because these lyrics, yes, I know they're dark, but they're very juvenile, and you can tell that the man wrote them when he was not a man. He was still a kid growing up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Jacoby was a pretty young guy when they formed the band, and these lyrics have always sounded like something I would have wrote when I was in high school, and that's why I have a hard time taking them seriously. But when I hear them delivered this way, I do really respect that. So I enjoyed this particular track on the album, and I do think it's a good way to close it out. And as Bobby said, I think it's important to have that disclaimer after you heard 10 tracks of garbage, like, hey, don't kill yourself. There's still hope out there.
Guy. So what'd you think of the album overall?
Sucked.
Yeah, so overall, it's not an album that it should have never been released as an album.
I'll stop. I'll get into that. But go
Well,
ahead.
but look,
Go ahead. Because I'll get into why this is. Go ahead.
our job here is to review this as a full album.
Correct.
Damn it.
And
I didn't show up for work.
there's nothing about this album that flows in any way, which is a shame, because I think that the songs on this album are dynamic enough that if you arrange them properly, it could have probably flowed better.
The arrangement is a little off. And
Additionally, there's 11 songs on this album, and Cody from Wage War has writing credits on 5 of them. 4 out of those 5 are the band's biggest songs
Oh, he
of
does
all
give the guy
time.
credit.
well, yeah, I said
oh,
that.
yeah,
Ronnie literally,
they're
he
credited.
did a whole.
I thought you said he was just like hanging out with the guy, but he actually legit gave him. Okay,
no,
fine.
Ronnie
Yeah, all right.
called out literally
it's
everybody
credited.
that's helped him along the way. Like, he's not taking all the
you
credit
got
for this
to, man.
album.
Yeah, it's
so-
not a secret at all, but I
All
just think that 5 out of the 11 songs having co-writes by Cody, I think that says a lot about who's really responsible for the success of this band.
They still have to execute it, though.
There's definitely shining moments on the album,
Mm-hmm.
and he's backed by talented musicians.
Mm-hmm.
But this is honestly not something I ever want to listen to again. It's no secret that I dislike Ronnie Radke.
Yes,
But
you do.
I also acknowledge that the guy is incredibly talented. Like I said, he's a marketing genius as well. He's
Mhm.
got an amazing voice, and he's surrounded himself with people that bring out his best performances. All of that said, we're judging this as a full album.
Mm.
And as a full album, to me, it leaves a lot to be desired. It doesn't flow, and some of the songs feel like filler in comparison to the big singles. I did try to go into this and be as objective as possible when assigning this rating and not let any of my bias get in the way, but I'm sure some of you are still going to disagree with this rating anyways.
A lot are going to
Um,
agree with you.
Falling in Reverse's Popular Monster is a 3.5 out of 6
wow.
for me.
I would have went with a 2.
I will tell you that's higher.
Try to
Than,
be unbiased.
that is higher than I ever expected you to do.
There's very, very good writing, very good production. This is a very professionally done album. Like, it's done very well. It's executed very well.
The production
I
level is
just
very high
happen
on
to
this.
not really like any of it, And I'm trying
That can be said
to.
by a lot of shit that has good production value.
Like, if
but if
I
you don't
was
want to
just-
listen to it, that's like a
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to listen
2
to
at
it.
best.
It
I
just
don't wanna
doesn't
listen
appeal
to
to. It doesn't appeal to his ear. And look, you can knock this album for not being all new, but I just look at it from a different perspective. This encompasses 2019 to 2024 era of the band, which has become the most important era. They've grown exponentially, and I think that's part
For
of
the band?
Yeah, I think this.
I thought you said like in general. I was like, that's past 5 years.
No, for this band.
Yeah, all right.
And I think their growth is partly due to how this content was released. It's a slow burn, putting a lot of time and effort into each track, whether you like them or not, to make sure that the best that they could put out. And at the same time, the delays between the songs let the listeners fully take in each track without just skipping to the next one so quickly, which makes those 7 singles all have a huge feel to them. They all had time to digest properly through people's systems. They all went through the YouTube reaction cycles and the news cycles to create hype for the band. It was a very, very smart way to release the album, and their monumental success over the past 5 years proves that. Name me another album with 7 songs that are bigger than Popular Monster, Zombified, Voices in My Head, Watch the World Burn, Last Resort, Ronald, and All My Life.
Hybrid Theory.
Okay, but you probably named off an all-time classic when you did that.
Yeah.
Exactly. So whether you like this or not, those songs are all huge, so you don't have to like the album, but it's a very
No.
big deal as a compilation here.
This band has put together a greatest hits album that took place over 5 years.
Correct.
It's amazing.
I agree.
It's amazing.
And
The songs are not good, but it's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to listen to them, but I can't say that they didn't accomplish like an amazing feat, because they did.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So I didn't like the way the album was released at first, but the more I thought about it, the success of it proves that it's a good way to release an album if the content backs it up. There's a lot of bands trying to do this right now that are failing at it because they're just putting out songs. They're not trying to make them the best songs. They're not trying to make them huge singles. He was trying to make every single song a huge single, whether that was him or Cody, I don't know, but that was the vision behind it all.
Well, look, I don't think that, for the record, I don't think there's anything wrong with seeking out somebody that's super talented and having them help you write a song. Like, that's smart. You want to be successful. Like, this guy knows how to make hit songs. Like, why? I wasn't saying that as a diss. I'm just saying,
I know
like,
you weren't.
let's give Cody his fucking flowers too.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. So if you're paying attention to the album lyrically, it's the album's entirely about the public perception of Ronnie. I mean, the cover is that's his mugshot. I mean, and in this, the album's about how all that affects him internally and the way he's just dealing with it. Everything is very deliberate and thought out. To me, it's impressive how many musical styles we hear throughout the album. I mean, you have like arena rock, you have country, you have rap, you have different styles of metal. I don't even know what box you would put this in.
Crap. The litter box.
But to me, it's all one cohesive album, even if the order of the tracks could have flowed a little bit better at times, especially with All My Life. This third track, it just didn't work right there. Later on the album, it would have been fine. Ronnie may not be everyone's cup of tea, but you can't deny his vocal range, which even Jason admitted, and his ability on display throughout this album. If you want some riff salad and solos and a bunch of other complex shit, you're probably not going to get it here. This isn't going to be for you. If you're into a lot of different genres of music and you like to hear them mixed, you like to hear something a little bit different, not just metal genres, you're probably going to find something you like here. I really enjoy this album. It's no shock to everybody. I'm giving this a 6 out of 6.
Wow.
6.
I'm a little bit
Popular
shocked.
Monster.
This
No.
album contains All My Life.
Yeah, it grew on me. I don't know what to tell
Trailer
you.
Park Meatloaf.
Stop saying that about Jelly.
So I got one final statement on this. I mean, if you listen to it, you know there's no fucking way I would ever.
No, it's
Listen
not a
to
Bobby
this
album
shit.
at all.
But the dude is so smart, like business savvy, so I know who the fuck he is. I know way more than I should know.
Exactly. And I've heard people go,
So,
why is this
like-
band constantly being covered?
I'm just saying, it's, you're
Because
doing,
people care.
you're doing
Because people
something right.
care.
If
Exactly.
you make music, I would fucking won all day long. And I
He's-
still know who the fuck you are and what the hell is going on.
In this
Like,
digital world, he has created a way to market an album. And this is something that I told you to remind me about is he launched a Patreon now too. People are complaining that there's only 4 new songs on this album. But then he launched a Patreon.
oh yeah, don't
where-
forget the Patreon thing.
Where
told me to remind
you get additional unreleased songs.
Oh, yeah.
And then he released merch on the same day that this came out, where each merch packet came with a different unreleased song. So in a streaming era where you're not getting paid for your music, he's finding a way to where if you wanted to hear more, there's a way to hear more. You just got to pay for it.
So
it's smart.
when are you signing up?
I want to figure out how to get the
Checks in the
songs, but
mail.
I don't want to pay for them, if I'm just being honest.
So
Pirate
something
that shit.
But
something
it's
I wanted
smart.
to
I
know.
mean, it's very
Um,
he's taken a different approach to marketing that a lot of people are not
That's
doing.
what I'm saying, dude. I know
And the
who he
success,
is.
the success of the band like proves that it fucking works. The dude's a genius with that, whether you like him or hate him.
I agree with you. And actually, as you were, kind of making your closing statements, if you will,
I will.
it kind of clicked. So he is a genius because if you look
I
at
don't know if he's a
if you
genius.
look at who
He really
Pretty
is.
smart.
Like,
a marketing
he's
genius,
really
Alright, there you
fucking
go.
smart.
not a
marketing.
musical genius
No.
or an artist, but yes, he has marketed this album the way that an album needs to be marketed now,
In 2024.
which is
Yes.
why someone like me cannot appreciate it because we grew up in an era where you go to the store and you buy an album and you
What's a
consume that
store?
whole goddamn album
Uh,
and you listen to it from start to finish. And usually it's going to continue to be a full album listen because number one, you invested money that you saved up to go to the store and buy that album.
Mm-hmm.
But number two, because you're someone that your ear has been trained, like, let's listen to this as a full experience. He doesn't care about that.
Nope.
And neither do his fans.
Nope.
So the fact that all this shit that I just said about the album not flowing and not working as a full album, they don't fucking care
Mhm.
about that. They're going to treat it like a playlist. Oh, this is the best of Falling in Reverse. Let's put it on. And you're right. So
Yeah.
he ain't trying to win over people like me that want to listen to a full album
We're
and
not
hear
the
like some
demographic, for sure.
concept or hear,
well,
where the band was all in this one frame of mind when they made it and they were in some secluded area and they fucking spent 6 months writing and recorded this shit. They don't care about that. His fans don't care about that. He didn't make this album for me. The people that he made it for are going to eat it up. And that's cool, man. Like, I ain't hating on him for that. I think that he's got a huge fan base and he did a lot of things to make that happen.
The ironic thing is I was not a Ronnie Radke fan until you started hating on him, and then I did more research and I became a Ronnie Radke fan.
which is funny because I remember
is
when
what
it
it
started
is.
and you're like, do you like Ronnie? You're like, I don't fucking it. And every fucking week was Ronnie Radke's bought some different nail polish and
I like
Which is like,
and then you
it
just-
goes to
every-
show that what he's doing works
it's
because
fucking A.
someone like Justin that's super in tune to the scene, much like I am, I think. But Justin likes to understand how things tick
Yeah.
and what makes people like this. And what
you
makes
are weird.
people
You're like,
do
I don't
this.
like this. Let me look into it
Let me figure out why I don't like it.
because
And,
it
Yeah.
sucks.
and then I
know
figured
that's
out.
why I don't
And
like
then he
things.
like slowly convinces himself that like, oh, that's what it is.
Yep.
And
Well,
most of the time it works.
Once
Just
the
not with Knock
streaming
Loose.
numbers go up,
Not
he's
with
like,
Knock
I gotta
Loose
get
and
on
not
the
with Sleep
bandwagon.
Token.
I'm gonna get left behind. Now I like this now.
Yeah. So
No, but I think what he did was perfect for
Mhm.
this time frame.
Yeah.
That's not the way I ever want my music delivered. I want albums. I want
What a
that full
statement.
experience of
Now I want my music.
like I
delivered.
got a little teaser like of a song or two that came out before this album dropped, and I have a little idea, a little inkling of what to expect,
Mm.
and then I put it in, and this whole album is like an experience for me. And you're never going to convince me that that's not the best way to consume music.
Mm.
But again, I'm not the average consumer
Mhm.
anymore. I'm an old fucking man. It's not. They're not doing this shit for me.
Listen.
I'm not the target demographic.
I prefer to hear that too, but it's hard to argue with the success of how he did this with this band.
I just think you want to suck his balls.
No.
Yeah, he does.
No. But if Ronnie, if you want to come on the show, you're
Just
more
put
than welcome.
peanut butter on his butt and lick it off.
Oh, look, Ronnie. Yeah, man. Like, you're an interesting dude. Come on. Come. We'll talk to you. Justin will suck your balls afterwards. not during the show. Like, we got to keep shit professional.
Jesus
I
Christ.
challenge him as a musician to make an album that would impress me.
Get the fuck out of here. You don't care
With
about
yours.
impressing you.
Everybody cares about impressing me.
So that's Falling in versus Popular
What
Monster.
the fuck you think I'm back in this show?
Let us know in the comments what you guys think.